bhaktir naistaki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Text number 11. Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Vrutsaroja Aseshu Tekshita Pato Nanunata Pumsam Yadyadhyata Urugaya Vibhavayanti Taddadvapu Pranayase Sadanugrahaya. One more time. Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita Vrutsaroja Aseshu Tekshita Puto Nanunata Pumsam Yadyadhyata Urugaya Vibhavayanti Tadvadvapu Pranayase Sadanugrahaya. Synonyms. Tvam, unto you, Bhakti Yoga in devotional service, Paribhavita, being 100% engaged. Hrit, let me share my screen. I don't know how many people. It's okay. Tvam, unto you, Bhakti Yoga in devotion service, Paribhavita, being 100% engaged, Hrit, of the heart, Saroje, on the lotus, Asse, you reside, Shruta Ikshita, see through the ear, Pataha, the path, Nanu, now, Natha, O my Lord, Pumsam, of the devotees, Yat, whichever, Diya, by meditating, Te, your, Urugaya, O multi-glorious, Vibhavayanti, they specifically think of, Tat, this very same, Vapuhu, the transcendental form, Pranayase, do you manifest, Sadanugrahaya, to show your causeless mercy. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. O my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing, and thus their hearts becomes cleansed. And you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in a particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Purport. The statement here that the Lord manifests himself before the devotee in the form in which the devotee likes to worship him indicates that the Lord becomes subordinate to the desire of a devotee. So much so that he manifests his particular form as the devotee demands. This demand of a devotee is satisfied by the Lord because he is pliable in terms of a transcendental loving service of the devotee. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham. We should note, however, that the Lord is never the order supplier of the devotee. Here in this verse, it is particularly mentioned, Tvam Bhakti Yoga Paribhavita. This indicates the efficiency achieved through execution of the matured devotional service or prema, love of God. This state of prema is achieved by the gradual process of development from faith to love. On faith, one associates with the bona fide devotees, and by such association, one can become engaged in bona fide devotion service, which includes proper initiation and the execution of the primary devotional duties prescribed in the revealed scriptures. This is clearly indicated herein by the word Shrutekshita. The Shrutekshita path is to hear from the bona fide devotees who are conversant with the Vedic wisdom. free from the mundane sentiment. By this bona fide hearing process, the neophyte devotee becomes cleansed of all material rubbish, and thus he becomes attached to one of the many transcendental forms of the Lord, as described in the Vedas. This attachment of a devotee to a particular form of the Lord is due to a natural inclination. Each and every living entity is originally attached to the particular type of transcendental service because he is eternally the servitor of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya says that living entity is eternally a servitor of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Therefore, every living entity has a particular type of service relationship with the God, with the Lord, eternally. This particular attachment is invoked by the practice of regulative devotion service to the Lord, and thus the devotee becomes attached to the eternal form of the Lord, exactly like one who was already eternally attached. This attachment for a particular form of the Lord is called Swarupa Siddhi. The Lord sits on the lotus heart of a devotee in the eternal form the pure devotee desires. And thus the Lord does not part from the devotee as confirmed in the previous verse. The Lord, however, does not disclose himself to a casual or unauthentic worshipper to be exploited. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:25. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrataha. Rather by yogamaya. The Lord remains concealed to a non-devotees or casual devotees who are serving their sense gratification. The Lord is never visible to the pseudo-devotees who worship the demigods in charge of universal affairs. The conclusion is that Lord cannot become the order supplier of a pseudo-devotee, but is always prepared to respond to the desires of a pure, unconditional devotee who is free from all tinges of material infection. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamahamande Shri Gurum Tina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nananandamayam Devam Nirvam Splikakritim Adharam Sarvidhyanam Hegrivam Asmi. So welcome devotees for this another auspicious day in the Kartik, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam together in the association. It's very benefit, it's a lot of benefits what we hear. Anything we perform devotional service in this month of Kartik, Radharani's mercy, it will be multiplied. Some say 1,000 times, 100 times, billion times, whatever. At least it is. We know it is beneficial. We are actually trying to get the mercy of Radharani so that we can get Krishna's love. The verse very interesting. This is what we do every day. Krishna, when he left this planet, he came in the form of his literature, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, that is incarnated as a literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. And every word, every sentence of Srimad Bhagavatam is actually Krishna. And from that aspect, when we read or hear, especially from the pure devotees, our heart cleanses and all our anarthas will go away. and the heart will become pure one day. It's a process. When I'm not telling, you start today, everything will be done tomorrow. It's a process. By Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, we get purified eventually. Many years, I had a conversation with my friend recently. Hey, everybody says we are a devotees. What is the difference in me, you, and all other devotees? And there are great devotees also, senior devotees, sannyasis, so many in ISKCON. My friend explained very nicely. You have a showcase. We have wooden elephants in your home, right? Yes, sir. We have. So that is also, when you talk to a child, if you see that it's also elephant, and then the moment one day a real elephant comes, or we have happen to see a real elephant, remember, this is the real elephant. So what does that mean? We are all so-called devotees. We are in actually that wooden frame of that kind of a devotee. But when we see a real elephant outside, when we go to a zoo or when we go into India, and we happen fortunate enough to see a big elephant, oh, that is the real elephant. So when can we become that real elephant rather than this model elephant, is our question. The process is hearing only. What is the difference in me, you, and the senior and senior most Vaishnavas, and is the faith. So everything starts with Shraddha. Shraddha, without the faith, we can't even come into Krishna consciousness, right? Now, for anything for that matter, the faith is the foundation. If we don't have faith, there is no question of arguments or anything. For that matter, I have seen many people, oh, where is Krishna? I have seen we have heard many reporters asking Srila Prabhupada, have you seen God? Yeah, Prabhupada said, okay, yes, I have seen that. Do you think if I say, you will agree with that? I saw Krishna at the age of 3 or 4. Do you think you can agree or understand? No. So the faith is the principle of a foundation for everything, especially for the devotional service. If you don't have faith, then nothing works. So Prabhupada is giving us a very nice descriptive purport. Of course, they're all jewels, gems and jewels where Prabhupada has given us. So fortunate that can we see Krishna through our eyes? No, only through our ears. We can see Krishna through our eyes, but we cannot understand he is Krishna. We have seen in Duryodhana saw Yudhishthira saw Yudhishthira saw Krishna, Duryodhana saw Krishna, all other Kauravas saw Krishna, all the devotees, Pancha Pandavas, they saw Krishna. What did they understand? Kunti saw Krishna. So what's the difference? Everybody saw Krishna, but how many people understood he is Akilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka? This is a tiny planet, our planet Earth, but he is Akilanda Koti. There are multi-million universes in this spiritual, in this material, in this the whole material and spiritual abodes. In the material world itself, there are so millions of universes. That's what we hear. And then for all of that, he is actually the owner. If you go to the temple and see the deity of Radha and Krishna, Radha Shamasundar, deities are nice. But if you see that, there are some people getting, it's a very nicely decorated dolls. We may not, they don't even say deity, they don't know. But one can understand through, what, who are there standing there? They are actually the owners of this entire cosmic manifestation. Oh, really? So, by seeing through ears, we may not understand. We can, because we don't have that eyes to see. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. That eyes, when does it come? When our heart purifies. Otherwise, there is no way we can see Krishna. So the best way of seeing Krishna is through ears. And now here in this purport, here Prabhupada is mentioning that Krishna is not an order supplier. He says that his Lord becomes subordinate to the desire of a devotee. Krishna can manifest, and when we are hearing every day, what happens when we hear every day? Nityam Bhagavata Seva, what will happen? Our heart, he says, Lord manifests himself before the devotee in the form in which devotee likes to worship him, indicates that Lord becomes subordinate to the desire of a devotee, so much it manifests his particular form as a devotee demands. So, ye yatha mam prapadyante tamsa deva bhajamiham. If I one person always thinking of Narsingadev, his Ishtadevata, or Lord Ramachandra, or any of the forms of Krishna, Vishnu, he manifests in that form in his heart. So that is the Krishna has given because of our desire, he manifests in such a way. That means he is reciprocating to a devotee, but he's not becoming a subordinate just like that. If I talk to Joe Biden today, hey, Joe Biden, come and have my car. I don't have a driver. Come and drive my car today. Will Joe Biden will come and do it? There is no way. First of all, they will ask you, are you fool? And now here, Krishna as coming as a subordinate to Arjuna to drive the chariot of Arjuna. How can we understand? When a couple incidents in Mahabharata, when Karna had a Nagastra, the Nagastra was very strong. He can, once you aim the Nagastra, nobody can, that's it. Somebody on the other side, they'll be gone. So Lord Krishna, when he saw Karna coming with the Nagastra, when he shooted the Nagastra, actually the chariot driver of Karna is Shalya. Shalya mentioned, aim at his heart, not on his head. Karna disagreed. Who are you to tell me? You are a chariot driver, just do your duty. And Krishna and Arjuna on the other side, whatever the entire Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna, and Krishna said, Karishya Vachanam Tava, and he just listened to the Krishna, whatever he says. That time of the battle, when Karna shooted the arrow, Nagastra, Krishna suddenly he knew that it's going to something is going to happen because of the Nagastra. So he suddenly pushed the chariot down in such a way that when instead of hitting the head, the helmet was hit and nothing happened to Arjuna. Arjuna asked Krishna, what happened? Wow, be careful, cautious, whatever he said. Krishna said, if I would have not done it, your head would have been gone today. So he's becoming a subordinate to a devotee. There is another incident. When Abhimanyu was killed previously in the Vedic history, anybody can the battle was a little different, not like today's battle. Today, the terrorists are under the hospital. There is a big hospital, and the terrorists are in the basement of a hospital, and that's how they're hiding themselves, and they're creating nonsense and war. That time was not like that. They were a person who is capable on an equal, on the same level. If you know only archery, or if you know only sword, only those people can fight with the other side who know the same thing. Or so that means on the same level. There are some 100 pounds 100 pounds competition, 200 pounds, who is weighing 200 pounds competition. That's how, the same way there in the Vedic style, if they're on the same level, they can fight. But when Abhimanyu entered, Kauravas, they created a chakra vyuha in that there are 10 generals who surrounded him, and he was completely captivated, and then they killed Abhimanyu. That day, everybody was morose when Arjuna was outside, and when he came to know that Abhimanyu got killed, and it's all because of Jayadratha, he made this trick. Then he vowed that I'm going to kill Jayadratha today, the next before sunset. And Krishna, he's taking the burden of what Arjuna said. I know Krishna knew that it was not possible for Arjuna to kill Jayadratha before sunset. And the next day, when he went to the battle, Jayadratha the Kauravas came to know that, that is what his woe was. But and he also said, Arjuna, if I'm not able to kill, then I will enter the fire. He's going to enter the fire. So they were all very planned. So they made Jayadratha to be in the last. So in fact, it was very difficult for Arjuna to kill all those generals and go all the way inside, because he was already in the back, almost in the back of that, in the battle, it seems. So that the sun was almost setting. Krishna took his Sudarshan, and he covered the sun, and that everybody thought it is already sunset. And that time, Jayadratha was in the back. He came all the way to the front. And then what happened? Arjuna was in front of Arjuna, and when Arjuna was ready to kill him, and Jayadratha said, no, I'm not equipped. You cannot kill me. Krishna said, kill him. So then Arjuna killed him. So who do you think Krishna is? And how can he become an order supplier? He's a subordinate to a devotee. Why? Because he's completely surrendered to him. Because of that loving reciprocation, Krishna can do anything for us. But when is a question, it'll take its time to become. This process is same. If you ask a pure devotee, what did you really do? The same thing. 4:16:4. Today's, get up in the morning, 4 a.m., chant Hare Krishna, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and all follow the 4 regulatory principles, because that's the pillars of Dharma. As long as we are following Dharma, Krishna likes it. That's why he's very favorable who follows the Dharma. So this is the rule, even for a neophyte devotee or for an advanced devotee. But how can Krishna become a subordinate? Depends on how sincere we are. It says that paribhavita, tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita vruts, tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita vrutsaroja. But paribhavita means being 100% engaged. So we may not, oh, Prabhu, I am doing my devotion service for many years. Still I have lust, I have greed, I have anger and everything. Yes, it is there, but at least we are aware it is there. We were doing, we were exhibiting all this nonsense, but we were not aware that I am doing it. But today we are at least aware, yes, I have lust. I will agree that I have a lust. Oh, I agree that I have a unnecessary desire. No, I'm very greedy. Then it's a process to clean up the anarthas. So how Krishna, when we hear Krishna Katha, Krishna enters the heart and sits and resides in the heart of Krishna, of that pure, of a devotee. So there are so many connected verses. I was thinking to say so many things, but it's very difficult at a very short time. We know this verse. I think I'll go directly into the benefits of, there are 7 benefits of hearing Krishna Katha. Let me share this again. In 12:12:55, Avismriti Krishna Padara Vindayo Kshinoti Abhadrani cha Samstanoti Sattvasya Shuddhim Paramatma Bhaktim Gnanam cha Vijnana Viraga Yuktam. So, 7 benefits of hearing Krishna Katha. It says, remember of Lord Krishna's lotus feet destroys, means remembering means hearing about Krishna. So what will happen? The number 1, Abhadrani, destroy, Kshinoti Abhadrani, everything inauspicious. All the astrological inauspicious position in the chart, in our chart, astrological chart, is completely destroyed. That is number 1. And then the second one, good fortune, Shamtanoti. Shamtanoti means good fortune, very joyful, joy multiplies. The good fortune expands, it says multiplies. And then what happens? Sattvasya Shuddhim. The heart becomes cleansed, purified, completely purified. In even somebody comes and provoke any situation, and there is no question of anger. Someone, Prabhupada devotee, it seems, I just heard, because I don't know, I heard from one of the devotees that one devotee, Prabhupada disciple, was giving a class, and one American lady, who I don't know whether it's a devotee, non-devotee, doesn't matter. She went and took, there was a cup of water in front of the speaker. She went, I don't know what she felt, maybe she was off or she was mad, or she took that water and poured that water on the top of the head of the devotee who was giving a lecture. And the devotee, in that provoking situation, I would have told, what are you doing? Whatever, I would have yelled at it. That devotee said, it seems, Prabhupada sometimes says, takes 3 times shower. I took only 2 times. This is the 3rd time. Thank you very much, Mataji. In that provoking situation also, how he responded. Right? So that means that heart becomes completely cleansed, and he knows how to respond for anything, any provoking situation. And next, what happens? Paramatma Bhaktim. Paramatma Bhakti means completely, or you will get the pure devotional service, pure devotion in our hearts. And then Gnana, Vijnana, Viraga Yuktam. Knowledge. What is the knowledge? Complete scriptural knowledge. Sometimes we see who is chanting Hare Krishna, pure devotee, doesn't say, study anything. How he speaks so many things? Because Krishna, he can imbibe that knowledge in our hearts. When Dhruva Maharaj was not able to even glorify Krishna, when Lord Vishnu, when he came, appeared there, he took his conch shell and touched the head of Dhruva Maharaj. The complete knowledge of glorifying came in, and there are Dhruva's prayers glorifying Lordship. We'll see in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So these prayers, if he is giving that knowledge, what is first of all, aham First, knowledge means aham brahmasmi, that is okay, but the knowledge is that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. On the top of it, Krishna gives, purifies, and then we'll apply that knowledge, vijnana, with a great realization. And after that, what happens? Viraga, which is detachment. This is one of them. Since we have, it's already 8:02, I'll stop here. So there are so many things. I was also thinking about to say that verse of Gopi Geet, first verse, Tava Kathamrutam, how Radharani glorifies, how Prataprudra was singing this Gopi Geet to Lord Chaitanya, even though he was not allowed, because Lord Chaitanya did not like the king, right? He is, no, doesn't support all this, right? So, but he went as a servant and he was massaging the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, and he was completely, he was singing this Gopi Geet. Lord Chaitanya, just hearing about this Gopi Geet, he was in love with Gopi, Prataprudra, and he gave his mercy to him. Who are you? Where are you coming from? Prataprudra said, I am a servant of your servant. He was the servant of Ramananda Rai, who was the chief secretary of Lord Chaitanya at that time. So the point is, we have to become a servant of a servant of a servant. Gopi Bharata Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. Then those devotees can guide us how to see Krishna. That is how we will get Krishna's mercy. So everything happens by hearing from a pure devotee. Pure devotees, of course, this Srimad Bhagavatam, everything has been written by Srila Prabhupada. But reading this itself is give us. On the top of it, like any Maharaj, if very pure devotee, he narrates this pastime or this particular verse because they're carrying Krishna in their heart. Anything they speak is pure and it will touch our heart through our ears. We can also become purified. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I went beyond. Sorry for all. Thank you for all your patience. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Have a wonderful day. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Any reflections for a few minutes? You're welcome.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
Thank you for giving the further encouragement for the 4:16:4.
I'm not following, Prabhu. I'm trying.
No, actually, I just wanted to say, it's been so inspiring every morning, like almost 20 devotees in the temple every day from Mangal Arati.
Yeah.
And it's like it really is amazing. And although there's bliss in everything in Krishna consciousness and bliss in in just doing the activities ourselves, but when there's more devotees, then the bliss is greater. The bliss, it's more like you were telling a little bit in your class. You're mentioning the association and everything. It's just so powerful, and so yeah, it's really something that is inspiring. And then all day we're on cloud nine. Like we're just levitating because it's so nice in the morning. So thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I would like to even join, but my office schedules, I had a call around 10:30 last night, 11 o'clock last night. So it will be like on and off. So that's the difference. I would like to join that. I want to experience. I saw one day I came on that. It was very blissful in the morning, but yeah, very nice actually. So many devotees coming. And actually, Krishna is looking for that. He wants associates. He cannot just stand there forever. He wants devotees like him. Anyway, thank you, Prabhu.
You are inspiring. You are there like a few times a week, doing on the altar, serving the deities, and whenever you're doing the arti, it's so. I mean, there's a special mercy coming from the deities.
Oh, Krishna. I'm not there yet, Prabhu. Nothing.
It is. Thank you.
Undevotees mercy.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so
But
much for nice class. I mean, this verse, I mean, the translation purport is so nice, and the way you explained on top of it, it was so good, Prabhu. I mean, how Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. I mean, how he buys into the devotee, right? Uh, I mean, whatever the devotee wants. I mean, he actually is even manifesting himself in the form that the devotee is looking for it, right,
yeah,
in the heart. So how that whole thing happens, I mean, through the hearing, the hearing, the association, or from the bona fide devotees. I mean, one can see the Lord through that process, right? Yeah. So the examples that you gave about Prabhupada quote and about the top person, right? In case if somebody we want, right? So I mean, we'll not be able to order them, but the Lord is so merciful that one can do anything with the Lord, right?
yeah.
So
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we know this, right? How can you see Lord? You can do a service in such a way Krishna can come and see you,
yeah,
right? Even in Vrindavan, when the two devotees, two disciples, they were missing.
yeah,
Everybody was in the class,
yes.
and they came from outside. Hey, where did you go? I want to see. We went to see, have darshan of the deities. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, I think I remember that somebody mentioning this. You cannot see Krishna.
Yeah,
You have to hear Krishna Katha, then only you can see Krishna, right? So even the spiritual master indicates that he says that even though if you see deities directly, you cannot understand, you cannot see. It has through ears only. So that's the thing in this verse is actually emphasizing us. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, I think it is important for all of us to get there. Thank you, Prabhu.
Balaram Prasad Prabhu ki jai. Please
Hari
accept
Hari.
obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for that wonderful class. It was absolutely inspiring. What hit home for me especially were 2 points. One was, we're standing in front of the deities, and normally people are asking for things. Our acharyas have told us don't ask for things. Instead, stand there, get absorbed, and express your appreciation and adoration for who they are. And what really hit home to me was when you mentioned, there are a multitude of universes, zillions and zillions of universes, even in this material realm. What to speak of the spiritual realm? And so, when we are standing in front of the deities, it's not only about admiring how pretty, how beautifully they're adorned and looking, but also, their position as the absolute, as Krishna as the absolute of everything that we see and we have. So that makes us realize how really, 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 really infinitesimal we are. And at the same time, also, completely have our hearts squelched, so to speak, when we realize Krishna, like you mentioned, through all the examples in Mahabharata and outside, right? How he takes the subordinate position and how merciful Krishna is, even in Sudama's story, right? In the pastime, how he takes the subordinate position. And so that was really, really something that hit home for me. The second one was to do with the 7 benefits that you mentioned. That's spot on, and really, really resonated very well with me. So I'm so happy that you shared that. It was, in a sense, giving a sutra, in a very condensed and concise manner, so that I can apply that practically in my life. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I was when you were saying that when I have somehow Krishna's, Guru Maharaj's mercy, Prabhupada's mercy, I am on the altar touching the deities and dressing the deities. I may not realize. I feel still that I still okay. I am doing dressing for deities, but we been now I'm saying that Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, and we are doing that. Oh my God, what I heard one of the devotees, right? Um, Dhananjay Pandit Prabhu gave it to that one Mataji. I don't want to mention that name. To one Mataji to braid because their hair was little bit loose. that was given to a devotee, Mataji, can you braid this? And she was completely in tears. Who am I? I don't have any qualification. How can I braid the Radharani's hair? Can you imagine?
Hmm.
She was
Yeah.
in tears. So that kind of glimpses of that experience comes in. If you realize that, that's a different ball game, Prabhu. Honestly, if we may not understand, but yes, the more we do. That's why our Dhananjay Pandit Prabhu is like so much into that DT services because he has that experience. He understood.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is, Krishna has already reciprocated many times to him. He doesn't share much, but he has, right? In that
Very true.
way, so that's why, how fortunate we are. Who are we, first of all? Tiny, as you said. But we have that opportunity to serve Lord Krishna in just such a way. How fortunate we are.
Very, very true. Thank you for sharing that, Prabhu. And we are so, fortunate also, that our spiritual master, who is so merciful and is such a fantastic instrument of Krishna. It's in a way Krishna is extending himself through the spiritual master, right? It is. That the spiritual master is actually making it possible for people like us. I mean, I can speak for myself, totally no qualification, but to have deities at home and to be able to worship the deities itself is an opportunity. Is such a fantastic opportunity, which millions of people around the world don't even have. They don't even realize, right? So that in itself is a gift from the spiritual master to us. In fact, a gift from Krishna through the spiritual master to us. So even getting that, thinking, realizing, or at least that thought coming to me on a daily basis whenever I'm worshiping my deities at home, that in itself gives me so much strength and so much, makes me really really feel humbled. So thank you, Prabhu, for bringing all these together.
Thank you, Prabhu. All right. I think it is 8:13. If anybody has 1 minute, otherwise we'll close this call. Thank
2
you
minutes,
so
right?
much.
Prabhu, it's too difficult to resist speaking. This is just so joyful, as Gopal Hari Prabhu is saying, cloud nine. It's so amazing the way you brought up how we can see through ears and glorified this Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I was just thinking, of course, we always hearing from pure devotees is the way to get purified, but I'm somehow appreciating so much hearing from you this morning. I mean, I'm not saying you're not a pure devotee, but
I'm nowhere, Mataji.
no, bro, I'm just joking. But we consider, these are just our peers or whatever at different levels of advancement, but may not be at that highest level. But in spite of that, how each of us have different flavors of appreciation and connection to the Lord and Bhagavatam and the holy name, and how it comes through when we hear. And it's just, my heart is so, in so much of appreciation for you, and also for my fortune to have this opportunity to have association of you and all others. And I also want to thank, I don't know how to express my gratitude to Gopal Hari Prabhu for, sharing his enthusiasm. He could be just on cloud nine alone, but Prabhu wants to share that bliss.
Absolutely. Share.
Yes. So thank you so much. Just made our day this morning. Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. All right. I think we'll close this call.